Hi there, today I'm going to show you how to apply and remove non-sterile gloves, which is called donning and doffing gloves. Donning is applying, doffing is removing non-sterile gloves, and removal of soiled linen in isolation. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to put on PPE because the resident is in isolation. So every long-term care facility is set up a little bit differently where they keep their supplies. Sometimes they'll have a little dresser outside of the room. Sometimes there'll be a space in the room itself before you get to the curtain, and they will shut that area off and you'll have access to the bathroom and all of that kind of thing. There'll also be a trash can in there, and there'll be a linen hamper in there also, so you're not taking stuff out into the hallway that's contaminated. So whichever way that it is set up, we're gonna go ahead and put on our PPE. So we're just gonna act like this is the area that we're gonna do that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and either wash our hands or use hand sanitizer, rub that all over and up your wrist, and then we're going to go ahead and the first thing we're going to do is put on our gown. So there's two different types of gowns they could give you. A paper gown, which is a disposable gown. You're going to put this in the trash can and use it only one time. You also could get a gown that is fabric. These go into the linen hamper after you're done using them, and they get cleaned in the laundry. So we're gonna go ahead and use the fabric one because we're trying to conserve our supplies and that type of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. You wanna make sure that you tie both ties. So the one tie around the neck and then the one tie around the waist. So you can't just tie one tie, you gotta tie both of them. If you have to put PPE on. And then I'm going to go ahead, and sometimes this is difficult. It's right there. These are kind of high up. But I'm going to go ahead and tie these. The next thing I'm going to do is you think about it, and you're going to get your PPE on from the from bottom up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a mask on. So you are going to put whichever kind of mask they provide for you. You want to make sure you pinch that nose so it stays on good and it doesn't go up into your eyes. Then you have a choice to use either a face shield or goggles, okay? The face shields you would put like this, okay? And the goggles we would go ahead and put on like this. I want to make sure this is not going to fog up for me, it's difficult. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and don my gloves or apply my non-sterile gloves. Whatever hand that you are, you're going to put that glove on the opposite hand first. So I'm going to take my glove, and I'm already starting to fog up. I'm going to take these off, and I'm going to put my face shield on so I can see. And I'm going to have to talk a little bit louder. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put the left hand on first. You want to make sure that you put this over the wrist or the sleeve so that you have no gap and you have no skin exposed. You also want to take the other glove and put it on your right hand. You want to make sure after you put these on that you look at them, make sure there's no holes, anything that would cause you to get contaminated. As long as everything looks okay, you're going to go into the patient's room, okay? So I'm going to knock. Hi, Mrs. Perticone, how are you? I'm good. I'm Amy. I'm your STNA. I'm going to go ahead. It looks like you vomited and that you threw up. So we're going to clean that mess up, okay? I'm going to make sure that it is Mrs. Perticone, which it is. All right, let me go ahead and clean that up for you. When you have a soiled linen like this, you want to make sure that you kind of encase whatever the contaminants are inside of the linen. So we're going to go ahead and fold up from the edges. And then we're going to go ahead and dispose of that. I'm going to take this is a linen, so I'm going to go ahead and dispose of it in her room in the linen hamper, and I hold it away from my body. I do not touch my body. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, and if it's something that can be thrown away, you would put it in the trash can. The next thing I'm going to do is, okay, Mrs. Perticone, is there anything else I can get you? No? Okay, if you need us, you call us, okay? So I'm going to go over and I'm going to make sure that she has her call light. Where's your call light? Call us if you need us, okay? All right, and then before I leave the room, I'm going to go ahead and get out of my PPE. So the order of getting out of your PPE is a little bit different than putting it on. You kind of do it the opposite, but there's a slight change. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to doff my gloves, which means remove my non-sterile gloves. So I'm going to go ahead and take my right hand, because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you would do this hand, your right hand first. I'm going to go ahead and go to the middle of my palm, and I'm going to pull this down, and as I do, I'm going to turn my glove inside out. And then I'm going to hold this glove, squeeze it in this glove, take 2 fingers, go underneath my glove, and pull this around that glove inside out. Then you have a nice little pouch. We're going to go ahead and dispose of that. All right, the next thing we do is we're going to take off our face shield. And you would either dispose of that or put it in a container where it's going to be decontaminated. The next thing is I'm not going to take my mask off yet. I'm going to take my gown off. You do not remove your gown from the front because you could have contaminants there. You're going to untie it from the back, only touch the back. And then you're going to go ahead and at the back, you're going to start to kind of remove this inside out, okay, and only touch the inside. You don't want to fling this in the air or anything like that. You want to kind of roll it up inside of itself and dispose of it in the linen hamper. Okay, then the very last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove my mask, and then I'm going to wash my hands, and then I leave the room.